All right. Wow, wow, wow. Testing one, two, three. Okay. So, welcome back to my fucking channel. It's your girl. Okay, so basically, what I'm going to do for y'all is my base routine. And what is base to me? Base is brows, and like face makeup. I'm trying some new stuff today, so that'll be exciting. And yeah, I'll just show you how I get beautified. So keep watching. Okay, so after I moisturize, I just use like a Cetaphil sort of thing. Oh, I'm not in the frame. So first thing after I moisturize is I go in with a primer. I use the e.l.f. Poreless Putty in matte. I just like the center of my face to be really, really matte. I don't want my makeup moving anywhere. So you slap that on. You don't need a whole lot of this. So you just kind of put it on like it's nothing. Also, yes, I know that it looks like I am... Shut up. Quiet on the set. I know it looks like I'm like RuPaul's Drag Race season 1 filming right now, but the camera on my phone does not work, so I'm using my backup phone's camera in order to get this stuff on. Okay, I just want to get that all blended in. I don't care where it goes, really. Doesn't really matter. It's just a primer, just to sort of get your skin to look the way you need it to look. Also, my mirror's up here, so if I'm looking up here, it's because my mirror's up there. I'm not even looking at the camera. Oh my god, I'm so bad at this. But yeah, if I'm looking up here, it's because my mirror's up here. So now I go in with an eyeshadow to color correct. I don't really like cream color correctors. They kind of move around, they're super visible, etc, etc. So what I do is I just take Morocco from the Nubian by Juvia's Place palette, and I just put that over my darkness, so like the upper lip. Sometimes I do this under eye, but normally I let my corrector concealer take care of that. So yeah, trying to be cute, but I'm a rat. Okay, so once that's all on and kind of blended, I kind of blend it out with my finger. I don't want this to be like gone by any means. I want this to color correct that darkness. Now you can't really see it, and it's not going to move because it's a powder. So next I go in with foundation. I'm going to be trying the Bear With Me tinted Skin Veil. I'm trying to go more for like dewy, glowy, like no makeup. No makeup. I cake my face, girl. So we're going to try this. This is a new product. Let me grab my brush for this. Not that one. This one. Perfect. Basically I just take a brush, pick some of the product up, and I just put it down where I want it. Also, this is during quarantine, so shade matching is difficult because I'm not summer, I'm not winter. It's just kind of like whatever, whatever. And I just swirl that in, scrub it in, etc, etc. I'm gonna look a little bit closer in my mirror, so I can see exactly what I'm doing. I'm gonna bring out my little mirror so I can sort of show you what I'm doing. And it's just like a patting motion, kind of like you would do with the Beauty Blender. This is kind of nice coverage. Like, it's not by any means like a full anything. Like, it's not really covering my skin so much. Like, it just is giving my skin some color. And you want to blend down the neck too. I have a very, very light neck for whatever reason. I'm pretty sure it's just because I don't put my neck in the sun like a psycho. And yeah, you just want to make sure that you get it all blended out. So, yeah, you just blend. And then hopefully you get something where your skin is covered. You don't need a ton of coverage with foundation, I feel, because for me, I use concealer, and I use a lot of concealer. Normally, I would blend in these Black Radiance Illuminator drops I normally use the Total Control Route foundation, and I just sort of blend them together, and this gives me a really dewy finish, but I'm trying something new today, so we're not going to do that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is color correct again, and this is really important. I feel like just using that orange eyeshadow doesn't do a whole lot. Like, as you can see, you can still kind of see that shadow. So what I do is I go in with a really, really high coverage concealer. I use the e.l.f. 16-hour camo concealer in the original formula, and I use the shade Deep Cinnamon. I use this shade because it's kind of reddish. Excuse me. It's kind of red, so that way it cancels out that blueness. I got this trick from Miss Auntie Jackie, so if you're watching, I know you're not. Thank you for this, because this has changed my life. Okay. So now we just let that sit, and I let this sit for a couple minutes. So when I come back, we'll blend it out. Okay, so now our correctors are all blended out. As you can see, there's not really a lot of darkness in those areas I put that. It kind of just makes my face a blank canvas. So now I go in and highlight. I normally go super light with my highlight, but again, I'm trying to do less of a I'm wearing makeup and more of a like, this is my skin, this is what I look like sort of thing. So with that vein, we're taking that same kind of concealer, same brand, same formulation, but in Deep Chestnut, and that's just gonna go in the places you highlight. So like under eye, and I have a really long face, so I don't go out super far. I try to keep it no further than this, and I sort of make sure most of it is in the middle of my face, because that's where we want the attention. We want the attention right here. And I'm gonna do some more face shaping to like make it so my head isn't so long and ovular. I don't look like a football. I'm giving Hey Arnold a run for his frickin' money. Why did I say frickin'? Fucking money. So yeah, this is what I've decided to do again because of quarantine. What are y'all doing? Like, how is this all treating y'all? Because I know I'm going nuts. And school, a joke. What do you mean? What do you mean I'm supposed to learn organic chemistry online? Alright, Chief. Okay. Okay, so we again let that sit, and then we blend it out. It's really, really nothing too special. Like if you watched any base routine or any foundation routine, you'll see how I do this. Or you'll see how everyone does this. This is kind of the standard. I do a little cream contour, and for that I use the same shade of, or not the same shade, the same type of concealer, the e.l.f. Camo Concealer 16-hour, because it's the tea. And I use the shade Rich Ebony to contour, and this is where it's a little different. So for me, I have a pretty structured face, and I don't need a lot. So what I do is like one dot on the, like, and these are tiny dots, one dot on the side of my forehead, one dot in the middle. I don't do any on my cheekbone, and you'll see why in a minute. And then I do a line on my jaw there, a line on my jaw here, and sort of a scoop on my chin, because I want my chin to not look so angular, and so that scoop sort of makes everything look more angled upwards. Excuse me. And so now I blend, and it's really simple. I basically will pat it in to the places I want. And this concealer goes a long way. Like, you don't need a lot to do what you need it to do. And I'm a warm toned person, so I use a lot of warm stuff. So like yellowy and red stuff. If you're more neutral, you might want to go for pink stuff. And if you're more like cool, you might go something, I guess, red. So yeah, and for my jaw contour, I literally just push it up into my jaw because I want it to look a little smaller, and we take it a little higher. And then with whatever's left on my brush from blending this out, I go into my cheekbone and I just draw little circles until it meets like the outside corner of my eye. And the reason I blend my contour first is honestly because highlight sort of cleans up everything. So like I could mess up my contour a little bit, be a little messy with it, and it won't ruin the whole rest of my face, you know? And sort of to, again, bring that focus here, I contour my temples pretty heavily. And I don't mean like I put a lot of product, but I just blend a lot right here with whatever's left on my brush, just to make sure that everything turns out the way I want it to. And then with the chin, same thing, circular motions. I pull it upwards, so that way it kind of makes my chin sort of like more triangular than square, because that's not what I want to look like. I don't want to look like the Crimson Chin, even though I look like the freaking Crimson Chin. So yeah, and I use just like any really fluffy thick brush that you would use for like a foundation or whatever. And now that my contour is blended out, I just go in, blend out my concealer. I just use a Real Technique sponge. They're the tea, they're cheap. So when I come back, everything will be blended out. Yeah, we'll be on to the next step. Okay, so I blended everything out, etc., etc., and then I just went in with a powder. I custom blend my powder. It's air spun and like a couple banana powders, some like orangey powders, etc., etc., just to keep that warmth, but also give me dimension. I'm also trying just this cream blush by e.l.f. You can kind of see it here. It's pretty. I don't know how it wears. I'm not going to wear this out right now because, to be honest, it is 10 o'clock, and I'm just doing this because I can't sleep and I need a break from studying. So now the next step is one of my favorite steps, and this is really, really hard for brown girls because they don't make things for us, and that's bronzing. And so what I use for bronzing is the Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette, and I use the shade Dark to Deep, I think. Yeah, or the shades Dark to Deep, yeah. And then I go in with this middle color, which is Sculpt. I rarely use this powder because it's really dark. Like, The Range, she has it. So basically what you do, and I don't believe in contouring for the daytime. I really rarely believe in it for the nighttime. I'll do it if I'm doing like a drag gig or something like that, but during the day, I don't need a gray line on my face. That doesn't make any sense. Plus, I'm warm and I'm brown, so why not use warm browns? So basically with bronzer, you put that in the same places you would contour. If you're about my shade, some shade references. In the Total Control Drops foundation, I'm Mocha. In most of the Maybelline products, I am like a coconut or a warm coconut. In Rihanna's products, I'm 420. And so basically, there are other things you can use as bronzer as well. And this goes for everyone. Like, everyone should probably try this because I feel like a lot of face powders are warm. So like I've used the Can't Stop Won't Stop powder as a bronzer, and that's really, really nice. I've also used the Fit Me in Dark. If you're my shade, this is nice and ready and sort of warm. There used to be a Milani shade, but they don't make it anymore. And then my expensive one is Hula Toasted. I do like this bronzer. It is a little red, but I use it every now and then. But back to the point. I'm gonna go in with this medium color, as it clearly shows it's my favorite, and you just go in circular motions in the same place. Same place that you contoured, etc. And that's sort of, wow, that blush is really pretty. That sort of blends that line that you made with that cream, and sort of makes it look more soft and makes it look less like I'm wearing makeup and more like, oh wow, she just has really warm skin. She went tanning, which I just went browning because I'm black and so I have a permanent tan. Speaking of tans, what do we think about Miss Bad Baby? Because I saw her makeup artist's like picture afterwards and it looked like the appropriate shades, but we all know the tea about her and her black fishing bullshit. I know. But what do we think about, because her artist is black, I'm assuming gay man. So what do we think about that? What are our thoughts, you know? Because to me, I'm like, girl, just leave us alone. We don't want your music. Your wigs are bad. Your lip fillers are bad. The makeup was sickening, but that wasn't your job. I don't understand why white people want to be black so bad and to not have any of the like hard shit that comes with being black. That doesn't make any sense to me. But I guess being black's cool. And it is. So, I mean, don't hate, also don't appropriate. Oh, that was stupid. I hate myself. So anyway, to contour my nose, and I don't really believe in nose contour, I just bronze up the like structure I already have. As you can see, it kind of just like looks like that. So I just bring that shadow back because right now it's kind of blank. I use the same shade, and I use a brush kind of like this. It has an angle on it, as you can see. I hope you can see that. It has an angle on it. So it's easy. It like sort of fits in my nose. And I think that's a really, really big secret to like, I guess, bronzing or contouring your nose, is to just find a brush that fits your nose. So I tap off the excess, and I'm gonna try to do this down here so you can see. And I just bring it up into my brow at first because that's a part of my face too. And I want to bring the focus like from my eyes to my nose. And I just really blend that line where the natural line or the natural shadow would be for my nose. I love that I have a black nose. I'm not ashamed of my black nose. I don't want a small nose by any means, because y'all be looking like who's. And I'm not trying to do all that. So, yeah. So now we're bronzed. I might go in with just a little bit of Hoola just because, you know, I'm expensive. And so I deserve it. And this is sort of, it's even darker, I believe. Just like a little bit darker, which gives your face more definition. This is like really what I do day to day. As far as base, I have been going really, really light, which is just like a corrector, concealer, and maybe like a tinted moisturizer, like the Bear With Me. Or I just like will mix like my Total Control drops to be a tinted moisturizer, something like that. So, my favorite steps are my cheeks by far. And so what I'm going to do is take this big fluffy brush, and I go into that same corrector shade that I used earlier. So it's in the Nubian 2 by Juvia's Place, Morocco. And here's another hack. If you have these Juvia's Place eyeshadows, they're huge. And so you can use them for really anything you want. I've ordered palettes just so I can use things as like contour for when I'm doing a drag look, or etc. And all the palettes are so big and so pigmented and whatever. So I basically go into this bright orange shade, and I feel like all the black girls who are scared of blush need to try orange blush. It is life-changing. It is life-changing. And it also helps shape your face even more. Like, as you can see, like from the side, I have that profile, I have that. But from the front, it's kind of just meh, right? And so if we do this correctly, we can sort of bring our face up and also bring the attention more to the center of the face, which is what our goal is. So I take a little bit of that, I just swipe it off on the back of my hand, and then I literally press it right here and up. And like, do you see the difference? Like, it's like this side, like you have like skin, you've like blood under your skin, which is what normal people do. You're not gray, you're not ashy, etc., etc. It kind of brings back that warmth. I think that like blush is like one of the prettiest products that you can use, and I OD on blush sometimes. There is a such thing as too much blush, but I haven't found it yet, girl. So after I blush my cheeks, I go into my nose and I do some on my nose just because like it looks cute. It looks like you sneezed a little bit. It looks like you're a little sick. So yeah, and now for highlight. Okay, so I feel like y'all are really sleeping on this Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlight powder. Ugh, it is the best. Like, I love drugstore stuff. You don't always have to spend a lot of money to look really nice. So yeah, and basically I learned this from TikTok. TikTok, thank you for this. I take like the butt end of my beauty blender that's like wet, and I apply my highlighter with it. And let me just show you what it looks like. It's so bright, it's so blended, it's so beautiful, but it also is like there. Like your highlight will be there and it's not going anywhere for the whole day. So I go in with this. And do you see, like, it's just like brilliant. It's my skin, but like better. And I go into my brow too a little bit, even though I do a lot of stuff to my brows. If y'all want a brow routine, I'll show you that. I do this sort of feathered brow now. I used to do that Instagram brow where it was like sharpened, like sort of looked like painted on. And that's like a look. Like, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think it's the look for me anymore. I think I'm more in a place of like, I want to enhance my natural beauty because we all know I'm gorgeous. So, yeah. I basically highlight in all the normal places. So like cheekbones, brow bone, upper lip, nose. And I don't highlight my chin. I used to, but it kind of just looks like you have glow on your chin for no reason. I don't really get that. And then sometimes with a brush, I'll do it this time because why not? With like basically a like domed, like fluffy brush, I'll go in and I'll just throw some right here on my forehead. And like, do you see how different? Like, this is there. This isn't really there, right? So yeah, I do that so that way when I turn my head, like you kind of get that like dewy, like skin-like look without doing a whole lot. So I'm gonna jump off. I'm gonna do my brows and eye look. And then I will come back. I'll show you my lip liner tricks, and then we'll be done. Alright, so I'm back. I did my eyes off camera, I did my brows off camera. If you want a tutorial on this eye look, give me a thumbs up and a comment and let me know what you want to see. And now is lip liner tricks, okay? So this is the tea, okay? If you are my shade or darker, get a dark brown, just like eyeliner or lip liner. It doesn't really matter. As long as it's dark brown and shows up on your lips, go for it, because you can wear any lip color you want if you have this underneath. Anything. Pale pink, whatever. Everything. Speaking of lipstick, what am I gonna wear? Let's see. I'm gonna look for a lipstick. Give me 1 second. Alright, so I picked a like gray brown lipstick. this is the tea, if I can find the shade name. So this is NYX Lingerie in Honeymoon. It's pretty gray. Like, it's really gray. But I think it'll go nicely with this look. So now, for lip liner, you literally want to go right outside your lips. And I know what you're saying. Oh, Terry, you have beautiful lips. Why are you going above them? Because bigger is better. Period. So yeah, you're just gonna line your lips like you normally would. I actually kind of got this from my mom. She does the thing where she uses black liner, and that kind of stresses me out. But now that the 90s are like coming back around, it's kind of a look. I could kind of see it. So that's the basic shape, right? You're going to want to go a little bit below your lip. You don't want to go too far down because then it looks like, oh, she drew on her lip way too big. She wants these big DSLs. And that's definitely not the case. My lips are kind of uneven, so I try to correct that with lip liner. But honestly, if somebody's staring at your lips that much, back up. So yeah. You basically do that, and then I shade in the outer corners because it sort of gives your lip more dimension and sort of makes your lip look more like you're pouting. Oh, you're so upset. Aw. And I don't know, I just think it's cute. And it kind of links everything in reality. Like, yeah, you overdrew your lips. And it kind of looks realistic because there's the shadow. And it is, like, really gray. Like, it is gray. So I basically go over that whole space. So, like, the blank part, I go over the shadows too, just because I don't want it to be obvious that I have brown shadows on my lips. That's not something that people are like, she knows what she's doing. No. So you want to blend that in with your lipstick. And it's really easy to do if you have like a pretty pigmented lipstick. I would recommend literally anything by NYX because there again, the tea. So I let that set up for a little bit. It's really gray, right? And so here is the tea. You only need clear gloss. Yeah, like color gloss is fun. Glitter gloss is cute, but you only need clear gloss. You know why? Because you can put it on top of anything. You can make anything from matte to glowy to beautiful. And it takes like 2 seconds. So I'm going to slap some of this on because I love clear gloss. And it kind of brings more dimension back to the lip. It makes them look even bigger than they already were drawn on to be. And then really I use like finishing spray. I use the Natural Finish by Wet n Wild. It's literally like $4. It's great. It's like kind of like MAC Fix Plus, but like if you're poor and like on a budget. And I do this and then I'm really done. And you don't need a whole lot. Like it will break down that powder a little bit. So yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for giving your girl some attention because somebody needs to, because Miss Rona is in the way. If you want to see anything specific, please leave me a comment, girl, because you know what? I'm here for you. And I think it's just gonna be fun. Let's fucking do this. While we all got nothing to do, might as well watch your girl. I will be doing more looks. Maybe I will do sort of like my everyday look. maybe I'll do like drag looks if you want them. You just have to let me know. But here's the finished face. Get into it. Oh, get into it. Oh, there's something on my face. Wow. Get out of it. Now get into it. Look at the beauty. Look at the grace. Ugh, look at all the makeup on my fucking face. Okay. So yeah. If you want to see more of me, subscribe. If you don't, I don't care. I'm here and I'm not going anywhere, sweetie. So, yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at TaraBeauty25. That's where you can like vote on like the looks I do, vote on, you know, the different, you know, sort of content I make, you know, things like that. So if you want to keep up with me, you can do that. If not, again, I'm not going anywhere, so you might as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one, and peace, bitch. Ew. I'll see you in the next one, and girl, bye.